Dear bird friends and breeders, my name is Franz Dahlheim and I'm the CEO and founder of Your Parrot. I'm currently in the deep rainforest in northern Queensland of Australia, and this has been my wish since I'm a little boy. Parrots had always been my passion. In fact, all animals, from birds to mammals, to insects, to reptiles. Everything was stunning for me when I was a little boy. I grew up, and with the age of 12 and 13, I started to breed parrots. My parrots got me some budgerigars. You know how it all started in my children's room. I had 2, 4, 6, and they even bred in my kids' room. And that's how it all started. And I wanted to become a bigger breeder, and my parents thought, how we gonna create his dream, how we gonna help him. And so we built in our garages, in our sheds, nice aviaries with inside and outside aviaries. First wooden based, then later on also suspended cages made by metal. And so I grew into this passion. I started with the Australian parakeets, which I'm surrounded now here in Australia, and furthermore I bred parrots and parakeets of different species. At the age of 16 I was infested with big parrots. At this time, back in 2006, 7 and 8, I bred rare Pioneers parrots and Amazons. I moved on with my school and high school, and then with the age of 18 I was traveling finally to Australia. Back in the days, of course, I was feeding my birds with seeds because I didn't know it any better. When I was 18 and finished my high school, I flew straight away to Australia. Why? Because I wanted to see the parrots at a young age directly in their habitat. For me it was just so interesting and exciting to see where they live, how they forage their food and what actually they are eating. I arrived to Australia 2010 and I was amazed by the beauty of parrots in their natural habitats. And I realized something, but it was deep inside me, that the parrots over here don't eat seeds. And this have led me to the idea now, back in 2020-21, to create a unique recipe for birds, a pelleted extruded recipe for birds that makes them able to mimic their natural food. The natural food sources down here in Australia, in South America and Africa, everywhere where parrots live. Most of the parrots don't eat seeds. They eat fruits, they eat leaves, they eat different types of unripe green seeds. And this is a completely different topic as dry seeds, as we are used to feed them the last 40 to 50 years. In these terms, it was very important for me to create extruded pellets which are real bird food. I didn't want to create any extruded pellets which are already on the market available. I wanted to have special ones, very special ones, with a high fruit content, with herbs and different ingredients such as coconuts, bananas, different kind of fruits, also some seeds and as well as nuts. I'm always wondering why we research on cat and dog food. Cat and dogs and other farm animals eat pellets since ages. But why not parrots? Parrots get still fed like pigeons and chickens back in the 1960s. We haven't developed anything great for our lovely and very special birds. You know yourself, your bird means a lot to you. That means why you feed not high quality pellets, which include all the minerals, the vitamins, the fruits, the amino acids, nuts and much more inside one little single pellet. And with this we can really mimic their natural mineral and vitamin balance which they actually eat in the nature. Some parrots, especially cockatoos and macaws, can reach ages up to 80 or more years in captivity. But I was always wondering when I visited breeders and pet owners that these birds not even reach half of their lifespan. And this is clearly because of wrong diet. We haven't changed anything the last 40 to 50 years. Of course, on short term, seeds might be successful, but we want to enjoy our birds the whole lifespan. Means birds can breed, especially parrots can breed up to 40, 50 years in captivity. And you want to create a whole package, a whole healthy package for your bird in your aviaries. And with our Vital Pellets, we have made it clear. We made a clear statement. We have developed a recipe which targets the long term of the parrots' lifespan. Means a low protein diet, because birds actually do not eat much protein in their habitats. If you look at the ingredients of their food sources, of their natural food sources, the protein levels rise from about 6, maximum 11%. In other pellets, and sometimes other food sources, and for captive parrots, I just got interrupted. While we do this interview now, we have rival birds here from Australia. They're very rare and they are used here to people. This is a female one. Our recipe of the Vital Pellets is made for the long-term health span of your parrots. Means I have created a mineral and protein level that mimics the natural diet of your parrots. A low protein level ensures over the whole year through a healthy digestion and a healthy body function. That means if you feed too much protein, the birds just running crazy in their body. They can't deal with these high levels of protein which are supplied by most of other pellets. Also, the fat content is reduced to a minimum. Why? Aviary birds do not move as much as their natural counterparts. That means we have to reduce fat, we have to reduce sugar and protein, because the birds simply mostly sit on their branches in the cages and aviaries, and we have to adapt to this. I cannot just go in the nature and say, okay, birds eat this and this and this, and we feed the same in the aviary. This is not possible, because we also have to adapt the bird's diet on the surrounding. Natural surrounding, captive surrounding. And we have to create and mimic both of them together. And that's very essential at our pelleted diet at your parrot. Once we thought about the recipe, I have watched very detailed into the production process. Means I'm sitting completely now in the rainforest and here's everything natural. And this I also wanted to adapt to our pet food. We don't use any artificial colors. We don't use any artificial antioxidants or artificial preservatives. Everything should be natural. This was actually quite a hard task, because to produce something you need to preserve it. And we thought, how we gonna preserve these pellets in a way, in a natural way, that people can feed them over months without having any risks of feeding. Rosemary extract, for example, is a great alternative, a great natural preservative, which preserves our fats, our fruits and oils and seeds and nuts and much more in our Vital Pellets. Beside this, we had the opportunity to use many colors of our pellets. Red, yellow, blue, green, pink. But to be honest, nature supplies you with the best colorants possible. We have the beetroot, for example, which used to be a colorant for the decades in the early ages. We used it in combination with tomato to create our little red pellet. The yellow pellet is created by a nice herb called turmeric. And turmeric also supplies your birds with essential vitamins and minerals. Now, was everything going smoothly at our first productions? Of course not. We have spent months, in fact 2 years, to find the right recipe of our vital pellets. Productions went wrong, pellets were too soft, the coloration was not like I imagined it. And you know, I found this company out of my passion, out of my hobby, aviculture, bird breeding. It was not an idea to make money, it was an idea to change the bird's diet, to start a revolution for birds. Because felt so sorry when I see these birds here surrounding the king parrots, the cockatoos, the macaws in South America, or African grey parrots in Africa. And I felt really sorry to see them eating endless seed-based diets every single day, which lack on calcium, which lack in vitamins, which lack in minerals. Dry seeds do not offer anything. So that was the idea about your parrot. And of course the productions went on, and we figured out some oils need to be changed in order to make them tasty. The vitamin and mineral balance needed to be optimized to have a good level for all the parrots. Our pellets are suited for most of the parrots and parakeets as well as cockatoos, which are kept captive. I still remember back in the days in 2021 in September when I started my Instagram. My wife had the idea just on the way when we drove to a breeder to collect a pair of beautiful Ripple's parrots, Poisphalus rippeli, and she said, "Franz, why not filming your passion?" I said, "Anastasia, I'm not into filmmaking. I'm not a guy jumping in front of the camera." And it was very hard for me at the beginning to show people my real passion, you know, to open myself and to show, hey, I love birds. Because still, it's a very unique hobby, I would say. I'm not breeding dogs and cats or rodents. I breed birds, special birds, exotic birds, colorful and intelligent birds. And in this time, we started to share everything at the time we knew about our aviaries, about how we fed them, about how I went in the forest in Germany and picked different branches and leaves and berries and herbs. And this was just a simple way to show people, hey, there is more than a simple cage and simple bird seeds. So feed your birds more diverse, give them stimulation and something to forage on the whole day. And in these times, I thought my content is very positive and very encouraging for many people out there. But it was quite tough, to be honest. I still remember these days when we received a lot of hate from other breeders, from other pet bird owners. No, you can't feed this. Why you do it so? You do not have any clue. And at this time I was like, I had about 15 years of experience of keeping and breeding different parrots. There's a cassowary. There's a big cassowary. There's a huge cassowary in front of me. I'm still a little bit out of my breath. This cassowary just interrupted the interview, and I hope you have seen great footage of me and the cassowary directly in the rainforest here. Let's keep on with the social media topic. I'm breathless now, and I was breathless 2 years ago when I started the social media, because at the beginning the hate and the misunderstanding of many people which keep birds had pretty hit me, to be honest. But we kept going. Most of the breeders said, "Franz, stop with this. Your pellets, they do not have the right mineral and vitamin balance or the right protein and fat level to breed." Pet bird owners said, "My birds eat ages seeds and they don't like pellets," which is actually a myth. Parrots are very intelligent and they intend to search the most easy available food source. You see it in the back of me. Even the king parrots come down here in the tropics, where they normally not live. They live more in the open land, but to search food near humans. And this is the same with our pet birds and birds in aviaries. They have a good mind and they know exactly when you come over, you come around the corner with some easy available food. So in these days we had a lot of critics with our pellets. I talk with biologists, I talk with breeders which have been open for this topic to say, okay, how do you actually feed? What should be included, in your opinion, in our pellets to make them for a whole long lifespan healthy for parrots? Not just short lifespan with high protein, putting everything on energy levels into the parrots which is possible to make them a successful breeder. No, we do not have chickens. We have parrots, and parrots live very, very long. So we need to find a recipe which targets on the long term. So when I was talking with different people in India, and it was quite hard to get an understanding, and I saw and I recognized that most of the pet bird owners and breeders were struggling themselves to find the best solution. And it took us 2 years to find this recipe, what is now manifested in our Your Parrot Vital Pellets. And I'm very proud of that we made it happen, first to produce natural healthy pellets, to have a low protein content with a low fat content, and the best of all is the acceptance of our pellets. Most of the parrots, 95% of the parrots, accept our pellets on the first day. And this have never been happened before. You know, you could say, well, you got the right recipe, Franz, but I think it's my passion. I researched on my parrots, on different other parrots in aviaries, on the right recipe. And it's the appearance of the recipe. It's the appearance of the pellets. A round shape, 2 different colors to attract with colors the birds' foraging sense for food, and also the taste. And all these fruits, vegetables and herbs we have inside, leading to a very high acceptance. And now we finally got them here, our fruit and vegetable pellets, as well as the herbal blend. And you see already on the packaging, we are different. Everything on this bag is actually drawn by our designer. We have managed to get nearly all herbs, fruits and vegetables on the package itself, which are actually inside. It's not just a nice to look package, it's informative, and all these elements you see, all these fruits, these vegetables, these berries are actually also inside. On the side of our package you find also more information that we add probiotics. This is another add-on which only we provide currently in our pellets. I have thought, okay, to make another step, another quality step, it's very important to think on the crop, also on the crop of young birds. We are talking about our food which is made for 365 days a year, for breeding birds, for non-breeding birds. So we use probiotics, bifidobacteria and lactobacillus. And these probiotics are just stimulating the crop function and the whole digestive system. And especially for young birds, it's very important to stimulate the whole digestive system in the nest box and when they fledge. And also for hand-rearing birds afterwards, it's extremely important to feed pellets to activate their digestive system, including our probiotics, bifidobacteria and lactobacillus. And these are alive probiotics in the pellets which are very actively going around in the bird's crop. So the last years I made my way through breeders, zoos and pet bird owners. We filmed a lot of aviaries, we talked to many people. And now, when finally people see the success of our pellets, of our vital pellets, they all come back. And this just shows me that we did it the right way. We stand against the hate at the beginning and against the misconception of our pellets. But now if people see the success, the recipe, the real ingredients and also my passion about our vital pellets, they realize actually how good it is to feed lovely pellets which contain everything in a single bite. I also still remember the times when I said to my wife, okay, let's produce some pellets. Okay, let's do it. But in the end it was a hard, long way and very cost intense. It's not just you go to a company, say, okay, let's produce some vital pellets. There's much more behind all this. Packaging, design. We produced, I guess, about at least 20 tons of pellets for waste. And this all has to be pre-financed. We wanted to build a nice, beautiful house on the countryside. This dream just plopped because we all invested our private equity into your Parrot. Because I believe in this. I believe in this food source. It's my passion and I'm full time behind this passion for birds. So we were running to different manufacturers and saying we want to have pellets which actually have the highest fruit content on the market. We want herbs inside, we want nuts inside, we want a low protein. And everybody said, Franz, it's not possible. It's not even thinkable. And we tried 2 or 3 manufacturers. We said, okay, let's try it. But in the end, it didn't work. Currently, we have one manufacturer who's working very close to us with a very new factory, which is able to produce our high quality pellets. And before we even could feed any pellet, we had to invest about 350,000 euro for test, only for test productions. And there's not even included any bags, any design. So you come close to about 600,000 euro just to start off the brand of your Parrot. That means we could have had a lovely house, but instead we invested our money into my passion, birds. And of course it was and it's still a huge risk for us. We took all in with the whole family of 2 kids to produce vital pellets. And I made the decision to put all my energy and all my effort into my project and into my passion to create a revolutionary feed for birds. In the scene of aviculture, I'm still very young. I'm now 32. And most of the breeders and pet bird owners are the older generation. But we have to preserve this wonderful hobby for the new generation. And this was also part of our strategy and also part of my passion to provide young breeders a formulated, extruded, pelleted diet, which they have everything included they need for their upcoming breeding season and for just having wonderful pet birds. Our hobby aviculture has saved many species from extinction, and it will save many species in the future from extinction. It's very important that we change a bit our mind about aviculture. We have to preserve these natural habitats, and in the same time we have to research and breed rare parrot species in order to conserve them. When we travel through Australia, we talk to many people that see parrots. Most of these people say that the numbers of parrots dropping year by year. Most of the biologists here try to preserve these natural habitats for the parrots. But with growing population in Australia, South America and also in Africa, it's getting harder to preserve these wonderful creatures, our feathered friends. Aviculture plays a major role in this because we have gained knowledge the past 40 years of different species, how to breed them, how to feed them, and how to actively keep them in captivity for a long period. Our goal of aviculture is to reproduce in future threatened species of parrots and parakeets and to show people these wonderful creatures up close. We have to wake up people to say, hey guys, these birds, these black cockatoos here in Australia, or these gang cockatoos, or also the popular African grey parrot is on the edge to extinct. And we aviculturists, we bird breeders, are the ones that know how to breed them. We can preserve and do a major part of their conservation. In future, we have to talk and work together with biologists, with politicians, in order to save parrots. So it's not just a lock-up of birds in aviaries to display them and to have beautiful birds in the gardens. But aviculture will also turn to a scene, to a place where we educate people around us about these wonderful exotic birds which are threatened day to day. And all what we have created now started in the early days with my parents. So I have to thank them. My dad had trouble with my mom to create big aviaries, but we did it. Every weekend we built up aviaries. So I'm very thankful for my parents, which set the stone of this whole passion. After the time, I have to thank different breeders also to give me more insights into their aviaries. Everyone who shared information with me, every single breeder and pet bird owner who just sent me messages, who just invited me into their aviary complexes and shared their experience. Thank you very much for all of you. A special thank also goes to my wife, Anastasia, which has actually started all the social media campaigns, which say, Franz, you have to go in front of the camera, share your passion, share what you know about birds, and talk to people and open their minds about pet food. So thank you very much for this. This had actually led towards all of what we are sitting here. Also, thank you for my kids. My little son Theo is challenging me every day in a different way, but he shows me birds in a different kind of way, in a way which how kids see birds and which information they need to get educated about these threatened parrots, for example. I hope this little interview gave you a closer insight of my person, of our brand Your Parrot, of our recipe and our goals and targets we want to create with this revolutionary bird food. And I hope that every one of you who's just listening this interview up till the end is deciding to change the bird's diet towards a better way. Thank you very much for watching, and check out my Instagram channel for daily news, daily stories and videos about our lovely feathered friends.